I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you want to option the X Series package for the 2025 Toyota RAV4 XLE in Silver Sky Metallic. This year we have lost the TRD Off-Road as well as the Adventure. But does that make the XLE and XLE Premium the trims to option? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over some pros and cons. I'm going to compare this against the competition and give the problem that I have with the RAV4. The RAV4 on the LE and XLE will have 8.4 inches of clearance. The XLE Premium and Limited, 8.6 inches. You're not going to have that rugged profile like the TRD Off-Road or the Adventure, but the XP package definitely does some tweaks that kind of keeps that off-roadsy look. LED headlights is standard. Premium LED headlights and daytime runnings go into the XLE, and the XLE Premium will add fog lights. Here we have accent lights, so you could tick the box for that. The lower will get the matte black as well as the horizontal bars, and underneath the hood is going to house the same 2.5 liter dynamic force 4-cylinder with 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 27 mpgs for the city, 34 mpgs for the highway, towing up to 1,500 pounds. Now, the suspension isn't going to be changed out, but what takes me to the first reason why you want to option the XP is you're getting these 17-inch unique wheels. This is a KMC all-terrain tire with the XP badging. You're going to get the matte black on it. They offer 2 different variants now. This is the off-roadsy look, or you could get the street look, which would have a gloss black wheel and gloss black aesthetics. However, gloss black will be on the roof rails, and because we've lost that TRD Off-Road in the Adventure, this is the way to go. Now, on the con to that, you can only option it in 5 states. The Pro, I'm in one of them because it's in Florida, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Going against competition, Honda is not going to have something as rugged as this unless you tick the box for the HPD package, in which I think this looks a little bit more off-roadsy, but I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. As for the Mazda CX-50, you have the Meridian Edition, which also adds a platform on the roof rails, so it's going to look a little bit more boxy and off-roadsy. But in the same category, we're also looking for MPGs, in which Toyota ticks the box for that, as well as giving us the dual exhaust finishers, which is not going to be an attribute when you go into Honda. Standard LED taillights in the X Series package comes into the back, blackening out the badges and also giving us the nameplate in the rear. A con to me, though, is I kind of wish they would have implemented something in the grille too with it, like having the X Series. I think it just would have popped a little bit more so, because you are paying a premium for it. The Pro is you can option features on every single trim. That's not going to be the case on Honda. Hyundai is going to be a little bit less, and they're going to have a little bit more performance variants, whereas here you're going to have the gas, hybrid, and plug-in variants. Power trunk release will start on the XLE Premium. You have a privacy cover with a 12-volt, a storage nook underneath the floor, gets a spare tire, and you have plenty of little nooks around it for storage. Cargo at 37.5 cubic feet, but you have to go into the back in order to get the 69.8 cubic feet. You just pull the tab right here. It's going to fold down at a 40-60 split to maximize the cargo. The key fob for the RAV4 XLE XP. 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver, manual seat adjustment for the passenger. Cloth seats is going to be standard. Soft-Tech starts on the XLE Premium. Heated and ventilated seats go into the Limited. Dashboard is going to be flat. 6 speakers standard with an 8-inch touchscreen. Let's fire it up. 7-inch gauge cluster is standard. A 12.3 is only on the Limited tier. You can go through an array of different content and information for the driver. 11 speakers through JBL sound system can be optioned on the XLE Premium and is standard on the Limited. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it to reverse and you get a reverse camera. The trajectory will expand. A 360-degree reverse camera in bird's eye view is only on the limited tier. You can option a digital rear view mirror going into the XLE Premium, as well as a moonroof. Dual climate control settings starts on this tier. A wireless charging pad can be optioned. A total of 5 USB ports, a 12-volt will start on the XLE. Otherwise, the LE will have 3 USB ports. Storage on the passenger side, and you have a few driving modes. In a little area here, you can't quite put the key fob, but maybe some quarters. With the cup holders, it's going to be soft to touch. There's 2 more USB ports and a medium-sized storage pocket. There isn't any pass-through, which I kind of would like to see that, or at least a sleeve. The steering wheel becomes leather on the XLE Premium as a package, as well as heated. It's multi-function, and you can option it heated. You do have a little storage pocket here, so for storage in the dash, they do an excellent job with that. Leg space, no problems. It is not really a driver-focused setup. Headroom is also really good. Door panel and dash configured together, and you're going to have the satin aluminum, one touch up and down for the windows. It's soft to touch where it needs to be, with a long storage pocket. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrest down. There's the 2 USB ports with air vents, storage behind the passenger seat. Leg space, not going to be an issue, and I'm at 6'3", and check out the headroom. Door panel, the same segment that's found in the front, soft to touch, just a smaller storage pocket. Sliding into the center, the floor is not flat, but the rails are pushed up enough. You'll share some feet, butt, leg, and shoulder space, but this is normal. In headroom, still not an issue. That's why the RAV4 is a great pick. 203 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque, turn radius about 2 lanes. There's that dynamic force 4-cylinder at its best. XP package. The second reason why I would choose it is you're not only getting the styling elements, but it's unique. You only get it in 5 states. The interior, it's comfortable, but I would say the XLE Premium starts unlocking more of the comfort. I like that there's 4 trims this year instead of having 800 trims. I mean, they did knock out the TRD Off-Road and the Adventure, which those are the ones that change out the suspension. They also give you a little bit more clearance and a little bit more towing capability, so you kind of decrease there, but you could still option an all-wheel drive. We have the front-wheel drive configuration. That's why we're getting 27 mpgs for the city, 35 mpgs for the highway. But what I like about this is it's more practical, and yet you have the off-roadsy look. So you could do some light off-road if you're going camping. Don't go crazy. But that is going to take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with the cons, because we've said a ton of pros through the review, it's starting to get a little bit outdated. The competition is starting to be more advanced, especially if you go to Hyundai and Kia. They're just making it a lot more hip and fresh. Honda itself is doing a good job. They haven't done much for a few years since their refresh, but it's a smoother drive. I understand we have these all-terrain tires in which you can pick the XP road, or street, I should say, instead of the trail, and it would be a little bit more of a smoother drive. But either case, the RAV4 is not known to be much more smoother. Clearance is good, 8.4 to 8.6 inches, depending on the trims that you choose from. And at least you're starting to get power seat adjustment for the driver on the second trim, because typically with Toyota, you have to go up to like the 3rd or 4th tier in order to do so. You're still not getting that on the passenger side, but I also like that you're getting 5 USB ports and a 12-volt charger as well. And last year, you could not option the wireless charging pad on the XLE. You had to go up into the XLE Premium. So some of the features are starting to trickle into the second trim. It is a bit noisy, that is to be expected. It doesn't feel heavy whenever you're mashing on the brake or mashing on the gas, so that is good. I mean, look at the maneuverability. The steering has some weight to it. It's going to be a lot more heavy than pretty much everybody in its class. And for tall people like me, your knees are going to be sitting up in the air. Now, the footwell area is good, so you can relax either on the door pocket or on the center cluster, but I kind of wish they had a little bit more storage and storage nooks found throughout, because you are kind of lacking. You only have 4 cup holders in the front. I know that's a lot, but in the same category, once you start looking at competition, you're starting to get either a pass-through or this whole center cluster's opened up for storage. Here, you got this little pocket that you can fit maybe a quarter. But then on the Pro, they carve out more storage on the dash. So that does help for the passenger, and a little sleeve for the driver, so you can put a larger smartphone. It's gonna fall out if you do mash on the gas. And some other cons is you can't get the 11 speaker JBL sound system nor the 12.3 digital cluster on this trim. You can only get that on the limited. Limited trim basically gives you all the features. You can still option some packages and features, but you can't get those in any other trim. Taking me to the last reason why you want the X Series XP Trail package, because they no longer offer the Adventure or the TRD off-road, so there's no way you can capture that off-roadsy look unless you pick it. Is it better than the competition? The suspension itself is going to be more firm, but for a non-hybrid, you're getting great MPGs, and this goes a step further because you get a plug-in, you also get a hybrid and a gas variant. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise website and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Gatto Stadium Toyota for giving us this 2025 Toyota RAV4 XLE with the X Series XP Trail package for our car review.